Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Words of Wisdom. This week's episode are for my coaches, healers, and any soul centered service providers who are looking to attract clients with ease and find a more aligned way to market your services and get more people into your offerings. I will be giving you a sneak peek into one of the classes I taught at Starseed Academy in our high level spiritual coach training program. It's ICF accredited, and one of the components of our program to help you fulfill your mission and build a sustainable business is we talk about aligned marketing. And so, in this clip that I'm going to share with you, we go into aligned marketing, also known as conscious marketing, what that is, and how to implement certain things so that you are attracting clients with ease, not being burnt out, and building a sustainable business. I'll be sharing some personal experience as well as when I was choosing an outdated ways that other people and experts were telling me I had to do it, and what happened there. Some of it really flopped. And also what happened when I chose and found a more aligned way to market my services. So at Starseed Academy, we are here for your success. We want to see you succeed. We want to see you fulfill your soul's mission. And to do that, you need to run a sustainable business to get your message, to get your offerings out there. We're really passionate about this, and we are opening our next cohort, which is starting this month. We run our program only twice a year. So right now we have a cohort starting in May, and then you'll have to be on the wait list for the next cohort. So I just want to give you a sneak peek so you can get a little taste of what it would be like and the support that we offer. So take a listen, have the pen and paper out. Whether you are starting a business or you already have a business, these tools are perfect. I want you to see that it is possible for you. For me, being in business for close to 7 years now in my coaching business, I want to share with you my life experience and make it easier for you so that you don't have to take 7 years to build a sustainable business. So I hope this is helpful for you, whether you're considering starting a coaching practice or whether you already have one, or even a healing or soul service business. These tips are great for you. We really hope you enjoy it. And if you're interested in exploring further, please visit starseedacademycoachtraining.com to apply for our next cohort today. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy this. Welcome to the Words of Wisdom podcast. This is the place to be to raise the consciousness within in order to create a life and business of ease, flow, and freedom. This podcast offers inspiring stories, strategies, and special guests to help you become your most aligned self. I am Minerva Maharaj, a former NBA Toronto Raptors dancer turned ICF accredited spiritual life coach, founder of Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching, and Starseed Academy Coach Training. My soul's mission is to show you the impossible is truly possible. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's get to awakening your soul's wisdom. What is conscious marketing? I think you all, no matter where you think you are in picking up energy or your intuition, you all got a sense of, there's some of you who knew me from before. So there was a relationship, there was a history there. Either we worked together or I trained you in another program. And some are brand new. This is our first time we're meeting. But something in that spoke to you, either in the copy or the ebook or the podcast or our conversation. You were drawn to the energy. You were drawn to a message. Something in you was pulled towards this program. And when it comes to marketing, the traditional way of marketing has been based on sales and getting it right. And it's very sterile, very perfect. And this is how it's supposed to look. It's look like you have the total package, make it presentable, that you have the package that's going to change people's lives. And really what's underlining that is there's an inauthenticity to it. It's very, some of the words that came up is it's very sales focused. Don't take no for an answer, work hard, don't give up, money equals success, keep pushing, and very package. It has to look polished, right? It's the polished package. And that success is based on getting clients from that. But what's missing from all of that is there's so many important factors, such as connection, the heart approach,
alignment for you, what even feels aligned. Like how many, I'm sure there's at least one thing you have tried on that didn't feel authentic for you, but you're like, I have to do this in order to get clients. But what's the energy underneath that? And what has been the result of that? How many clients did you get? If you got any, how enjoyable were those clients? Or how long was that sustainable, that approach, whatever that approach was, right? I know one of the things I had tried last year was Facebook ads, and I hired someone, and really good guy. I learned a lot from him, don't get me wrong, but he was like, you got to do this video that leads to an 18-minute video. And then we have to do 1-minute videos that matches the pixels or something, like, I don't know all of the jargon on it. And then we're going to email people and we're going to DM them. And it was just all this. And at the time, I didn't know it was a manifestor, knowing how my energy is supposed to be used. But needless to say, I was drained. And although I got like 50 intro calls in a span of 3 months, I was burnt. I was spent. It was a huge learning lesson, an expensive one, energetically and financially, but it's one of those things that I have to do if I want to get to the next level, right? So what conscious marketing is coming, it's twofold, coming from the conscious part of you and speaking to the conscious part of your clients or potential clients, which I don't think that is taught enough, because it seems like airy fairy or intangible, or perhaps not like you can replicate it, which I don't think that's true. Because including this program and my past few programs and my private clients, that approach personally has solidified my business. And I feel like I finally have a system that I can replicate. It grows and evolves for sure, but the core of it is coming from the conscious part of myself and speaking to the conscious part of my clients. Attracts a different experience for both me and them. Okay. So what does it mean to come from the conscious part of you? It means doing your inner work. It means listening to when this doesn't feel right. And when you get, if you're used to, you understand your human design, or as you get more familiar with that, is making decisions that are aligned for you, making it from your authority, your inner authority, versus your head, first of all, right? Not making decisions from your head and learning to listen to either your gut, your emotions, or in approaching it in a energetic, balanced way. Every time, I always say, when you grow, your business grows. And every time I have busted through a block, clients come in, money flow comes in. And so when you do that, you stay committed to becoming a conscious coach and doing the conscious work, you're going to see how things start opening up more and more for you. So choosing from a place of alignment, what feels good for you, not being afraid of that, and not being afraid to say, no, this is not for me. And yes, this is for me. Right. And then in terms of your clients, so then it's your approach. I'm going to say your approach. The old outdated way is speak to the pain points, their fears, make them feel like they really need you, right? Hit their struggles. Now there's a certain point to that, because people tend to buy on emotion. They need to, see a problem and like in order to search, to reach out for some help. But I don't believe in having to play on those strings. I believe in speaking to the consciousness of them, that speaking to their soul, speaking to their heart, speaking to where they're at and where they want to be, and speaking authentically. We're writing up new copies for our upcoming programs with the mastermind and the HD class and the next cohort. And I had a moment, and it was just very refreshing, because the old me tried to write in the unconscious coach way, in the unconscious marketing way. There's 90 days to this, or 6 steps to this, and this will change your life. And guess what happened when I went through that approach back in the day? What does that attract? Yeah. Because they're like, you have it. You said you have it. You tell me what to do. Right. And I even caught myself being like, why aren't these people doing the work? Why aren't they following through? Don't they want this bad enough? Right. And what was refreshing about the new copies that we are writing, or I'm writing or reviewing, and it says, listen, I still struggle too. I'm going to show you what I have learned. These are the systems, this is the mindset, these are the tools that have worked. But it is your responsibility to take what works for you and toss what doesn't, and take responsibility for the results you get out of this program. And even though it's called Freedom and Flow Mastermind, I'm using this as an example because it's really fresh right now, even though it's called Freedom and Flow Mastermind, and that is the goal, that is the journey, but also know it's not the destination. That even I say I'm living a life of freedom and flow, but there's still those days, right? So I was just very transparent, and it just felt so like a moment of like relief, because it was very transparent, and people are more likely to believe in that and be like, okay, she's being upfront, right? This is not a false promise, but there are things that are going to work, but I still have to take responsibility. That's going to draw, first of all, the ideal client for this mastermind and increase the results of it as well, right? So I just thought that was very freeing, because the old me was like, I was told you have to have like something catchy or like a phrase or something that was captivating people, that's different. And when we hear like catchy, captivating, and different, we think outside of ourselves, and it's something so separate that even we don't even believe in those results or what we promise, right? So it's throwing away all of that ish that you have learned. And if you can come at this with new eyes, take what resonates with you and toss what doesn't. Maybe one thing is just going to shift things for you, or fine tune things for you, or maybe all of it. But I do believe no matter where you are in the marketing journey, whether you're starting, I wish I knew this starting or had the confidence. If I knew it, would I have the confidence? I don't know, to follow through with a more conscious approach. But I do feel this is where things really shifted, where I didn't speak on, if you don't change this, then you're going to be lonely forever. Are you going to stay in, struggling with your money for the rest of your life? And speaking on those pains to really convince them they need to follow through with this program, or else their life's never going to change. That's the old marketing way, right? Versus speaking to, which we're going to go through today, speaking to their desires, speaking to their heart, speaking to where they're at right now. Yeah, maybe this is where they're at on their journey, but if this is where you want to be, this is what we can work on together. I will be your guide. I will partner with you. I will support you. I will cheer you on. But I'm also not going to do the work for you. We just have to be clear about that, right? It draws in such a different client, such a different experience for you and for them. And in fact, the success rate of your clients increase the more I'm getting kind of into like the soulmate client definitions. But I feel when you're very conscious and clear about this within yourself, and speaking to the conscious and clear, empowered parts of clients, that they are capable, that they are committed. And if they're not committed, this is not for you perhaps right now, right? But when you speak to the empowered part of people and not the struggling, pain, trauma, so the sad part of them, again, you'll draw in a different client when you don't speak to that, to the disempowered client, right? And that also puts a huge responsibility of like so much more work you have to do, right? So that little difference, I think, just cleans so many things up. And then you're very clear about the people who show up. I just find when you're very clear about this and start speaking to the empowered person who is committed, who's truly ready. Because remember, one of my favorite sayings is that everyone wants the change, but not everyone wants to change, right? There's a difference in the type of people there, type of person. And I find when you speak to the most conscious, empowered type of people, they still need your support. You'll get more results with them. When I was more clear about and speaking to the conscious, empowered part of clients, my confidence was different. And I was very clear about who this was for and wasn't. And this informs your website copy, your services, who this is for, who this is not for, your content creation, everything. And what happens is the messaging that you're putting out is like, this is who you're for. You're speaking straight to them. They just screen themselves like, yeah, this is for me. And even though in my experience, this may not happen with you, but even when I know people are afraid to really niche down, but when I was very clear about the type of person or the energy of the person, I got less intro calls, which was totally fine with me because I didn't want to spend time wasted on intro calls that people are not committed. But I have a higher conversion rate. So it's like I have like at least 75% of people sign on who come on these intro calls, right? So it saves you so much more time going through all those intro calls and with people who are not really committed because you were speaking to conscious people because they're like, that's me. I'm ready. She's very clear. I have that confidence in her, have that confidence in myself, less work and less draining of your energy.
Thank you so much for joining me here today, sending you all so much love and gratitude.